Welcome to our channel. I'm Melissa and this is Jessica. Today we are going to talk about 6 tips for sustainable weight loss. If you like this channel, if you like this channel, if you like this video, if you like this content, if you like us, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications. Well, before we get into the video, make sure if you're interested in learning more about calorie cycling, make sure you check out the description below where we've linked our complete calorie cycling guide, where we break down every single thing that we teach our one-on-one clients. So everything from what calorie cycling is, who it's for, the benefits of it, how to actually implement it, how to calculate your own calories, a grocery list, a meal plan template, how to actually calculate the correct metrics for your check-ins to make sure that you are making progress. Literally everything and anything that we give our clients, that is in that guide. I want to paint a picture for you. I thought we weren't really talking about sustainability. I thought we are. Can I just get into it, please? And then you'll see where we're going with it. Please, just humor me. Thank you. I would like to paint a picture for you here for the 15th time. Is it okay if I do that? Yep. Okay, thank you. You are on a diet. All these things are happening. The scale weight is going down, right? Shouldn't be the only thing that you're focused on, but like that is literally what you're focused on. You're like, oh my God, like the number is consistently going down. This is great. My clothes are fitting better, right? I'm shopping in my closet. I'm fitting back into those jeans that I haven't worn in 3 years. People are starting to notice. They're like, oh my God, like, oh, how did you lose that much weight? You look phenomenal. You're feeling really, really good. The question is, right, is that something that's actually going to last? Is that something that is going to be sustainable? And if you're anything like us, you're probably thinking, like I've been here before, right? I've had this feeling before where I have seen the scale go down and I have been fitting into my old clothes. And hey, people are starting to give me compliments. That's happened to me in the past, but then something happened. Life happened. I went on vacation, things got a little bit crazy, and I fell off track, and that wasn't my reality anymore, right? The scale went up, and I'm not fitting into my clothes anymore. No one's giving me compliments anymore, but here I am again. I think that it's something that like everyone, like a lot of people like live their life this way of like, well, things are going really well, and like I feel really good. I know something like it's all gonna come, like, it's too good to be true, right? Yeah. There's no way this is going to last. And everyone operates that way where they're just kind of like, okay, I shouldn't be feeling this good. Like I need to do something to like bring myself back down a little bit, right? So you kind of get to a point where like you've been yo-yo dieting because of this cycle over and over and over again. You know this feeling, like Jess said, like you shop in your own closet, you're putting on clothes, you feel better, but you know it's not gonna last, and it's a terrible feeling. And you know those 10 pounds are gonna creep right back on as soon as some event happens, you know, Johnny's birthday, barbecue, holiday, doesn't matter what it is, you know this is not gonna last. And my question for you is, how many times are you going to keep losing weight and gaining those 10 pounds back with interest over and over and over again? Because like, when's it gonna stop? Yeah. Or like, even better question, will it ever stop? Or is this just your destiny? Like, are you meant to keep yo-yo dieting and losing and gaining the same 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds for the rest of your life? Yep. Is that something that you really want? And if you don't want that, and if you want something that's actually sustainable for once, then how do you ensure that like the fat actually stays off? Your first thought when you're dieting is like, I just want to lose the weight. I just want to get the weight off. No, like there's never a plan in place for what happens then. Like, how do you sustain that for the rest of your life? Nothing teaches that. Because, well, no program teaches that because they really don't give a shit about you. They want you to lose a quick weight, and guess what they want after that? They want you to gain it back so that you spend more money to get it off. So it's this vicious cycle that you're caught in because no one's ever taught you the real way to diet. The question that you really should be asking yourself is not, is this diet going to just make me lose fat as quick as possible? Is this diet going to help me lose fat and keep it off for good? And so in this video, we're gonna break down 6 ways to know if the fat loss is actually going to last this time. This is the funny part, right? Because when we say, okay, 6 ways for you to know if like the fat loss is actually gonna last, you're probably thinking, okay, like what foods do I need to stop eating? How much exercise do I need to do to like make it last? What pills or supplements should I be taking to make sure that I don't gain the fat back? That's usually where most people gravitate towards. But what we want to do in this video is almost like completely deviate from that, because it's not the foods that you should be eating. It's not the types of exercise you should be doing and the supplements that you should be taking. It's the lifestyle and the habits
and the things that you are integrating on a day-to-day basis. It's more of like the emotions, the feelings, and the person that you're becoming that is going to determine if this fat loss is actually going to last. So if you're on another quick fix diet and you are not tackling any of the root issues, if you are not completely transforming your identity and your belief systems and your habits in the process of doing like that program, then more than likely whatever you're doing is not going to last. That fat loss is probably not going to be something that is sustainable. Why don't we dive into the first thing that is a sign that, the program that you're doing is actually going to yield sustainable fat loss?
Just like speaking from experience, I think the very first thing that's really important, and it's probably one of the most overlooked things, is that you're not obsessing over food anymore. Think about when you're on a diet. Whenever you're on a diet, all you do is think about food. Like when you're told you can't have something, all you want is what you can't have. And so food becomes this obsession of like, what am I gonna eat next? What can't I eat? Oh my God, what's for dinner? Like, can I eat that? Like, can I not eat that? Like, can I have this banana that's in front of me? Like, I'm really hungry. Should I make this choice?
Can I last the next hour? Yeah.
Every thought revolves around your next meal or what you just ate. Guilt, happiness, like all of it is a food obsession. And so I think that when you have a diet plan that's actually working, that's something that is built around your lifestyle and that's almost like seamlessly integrated into your life, like it's just what you do, then you are not obsessing over food because you have that fixed relationship with food. Like you feel better.
Your program isn't contributing to like a, good versus bad mentality with food. It's just like food is neutral and I can, have it and it can be fun and indulgent, or it can be used to fuel my body and I am able to enjoy both, and I'm not gonna, beat myself up over it. So I think, if you're in a place where that's how you're starting to feel, then that's like a good sign that this is probably gonna be something that lasts. In that same vein, the instances in which you emotionally binge, you have these crazy like emotional eating episodes where you're like, oh my God, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm bored, I'm stressed. Like for most people who are on a diet, they usually see higher instances or higher, like prevalence of emotional eating episodes. And a lot of reasons why that happens is again tied back to like that restriction that you were just talking about, right? Like if you're cutting out entire food groups, if you're being super restrictive with the number of calories that you're eating, things like that, that can move into that area of like foods as good versus bad. And a lot of times when we are feeling those high emotions, we try to self-soothe and we try to do it with foods that, are highly palatable and that are almost like a comfort, like a source of comfort, right? And there's nothing that's necessarily wrong with that, but there is something wrong with that if you are in a place where like the diet or the lifestyle that you are pursuing in order to lose weight is telling you you can't ever eat chips, you can't ever eat cake or cookies, and then the second you have an emotional reaction, you go towards that thing because I can never have it, and so screw it all, I don't care, I'm just gonna have it all now. Right?
Because I think like tying into it, the third thing, when you do indulge in foods on the occasion, like when, it's a weekend or a party or a holiday or whatever it is, when you're having those more indulgent foods, you're not going overboard. Like you're not eating like an asshole because you've restricted those things for so long. Like let's say, you're going to a summer barbecue and like your aunt made these amazing like rich fudge brownies, right? Like you're not gonna sit there and eat the entire platter because you can never have them. A good relationship with food means if you wanna have a brownie on a Monday night, you can have a brownie on a Monday night because it fits into your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so I think like that is one of the ways that you can tell that, this is a diet that is setting you up for success in the long term, that like when you are faced with those foods that you don't typically eat, you're not going to overindulge and eat like an asshole.
Yeah, it's constantly available. Food is food and you can really have it whenever you want. When you start to, like you almost start to feel like you're out of your routine when you aren't doing certain things, right? When you're like, I'm not eating, 80% wholesome, nutritious. I'm not really
getting my protein in.
Eating enough protein. I'm not really eating like a lot of veggies. I'm not drinking my water. I'm not really moving. That is like kind of outside of your norm now.
Like for example, like when we went on vacation and it's like, we enjoyed vacation and yes, we have a good relationship with food where we were able to eat all of like the foods that we don't typically eat, but it also was like I'm out of my routine and like I really can't wait almost to kind of like I'm enjoying vacation, but I can't wait to be back home, to be back into my routine. Like that's a good healthy relationship with the diet or like the plan that you have in place.
Yeah,
right?
like it doesn't quite feel right when you're not doing those things, and it's almost like those things have become more part of your identity than not part of your identity, right? So like when you start off on a diet, all of those things might feel new to you. Like I'm usually used to eating like processed foods, and so eating like all of these veggies might be something that feels like it's not really something that I do, or going to the gym 4 times a week isn't really something that I do, and I have to push myself to do it. Or
well, it's just
drinking
kind of
water.
Like, it's like with anything. Like let's say like you're picking up the violin. Like the first time you play it, like you're gonna suck. Like the more that you practice and do it over and over and over again, eventually you just kind of pick it up and you play it. It's just like that's part of your identity. Like you're a violin player. At first you're not, but then all of a sudden that's what you become.
Yeah, it's ingrained into your routine essentially. Number 5, I feel like when working out or eating wholesome or nutritious, whatever, like we're not looking at these things as punishments anymore. So you actually look forward to eating, healthy, nutritious foods. You actually look forward to drinking more water. You look forward to going to the gym and getting a workout in. It's not like, hey, this is a punishment. Hey, this is a burden. It's something where like, it's just part of my identity. It's part of my routine. This is what I do.
The last one, number 6, is
kind of ties it all together.
And I think that this is like the most important thing. And this is when like we both had our light bulb moments of when you start to think of this as like, I am capable of making all of these changes because what I'm doing now is unhealthy and I'm not happy with how I'm, acting currently. And I also know what I want my new identity to be. And so when you have that new identity in mind of I'm a fit person, I'm healthy, I'm active, I go for walks, I work out because it feels good, I primarily eat, wholesome, nutritious foods. I'm okay to indulge in foods once in a while because that's who I am. Like once you have determined that identity of that like fit person, every action that you take from then on out is what that person would do. That's your future self. And so the more that you can like paint that picture very vividly of what you want, then then like what you were just saying about like your routine,
you start
like all
to feel
of it
like your
is
identity. That is part of your identity.
And you're drawn to that person. And so it goes from I just want to lose fat because I'm unhappy with how I look to I want to be this person and nothing's going to get in my way.
And I am this person.
Exactly.
Like that's like kind of the evolution, right? Like nothing's going to get in my way. This is starting to become part of my routine. I'm building the habits. I'm building the foundation.
Right.
And now this is just who I am and it's what I do and it's part of me.
And I think that the important thing is that if you're 250 pounds, even if you have the identity in your mind and you start taking actions of that person, you are that person already. And maybe you don't look like it yet, but every action that you take is getting you closer to that person. And so you don't have to wait until you're in good shape to like take on the identity. Just live it out and all of your actions are going to follow.
How do these actions like act as a vote towards or against the identity that I want to be, the identity that I identify as, right? I am a healthy and fit person. Does that person, eat like shit and never move and never drink water? No, they definitely don't. So why would I do actions that move me further away from, my identity? And I think the biggest part here is when all of this kind of comes together and you start to have a better relationship with food, you have more control over food. So you're not emotionally binging, you're not, going overboard and way overindulging then feeling guilty afterwards. You're not looking at, healthy eating and working out as a punishment. You're not, in a routine that makes you feel like shit. When you start to kind of compound all of those things and you realize, hey, I am capable of making these full lifestyle changes, like that starts to build a certain level of confidence. It starts to build momentum and it starts to build this feeling of empowerment. And again, when you have all of those feelings and you've established a really solid foundation that's now more of a lifestyle and that feeds into your identity rather than just being something I'm doing temporarily, that is what's going to be the foundation that sets you up for sustainable fat loss.
And that's why we use calorie cycling. That's why all of our one-on-one clients use calorie cycling, because it takes into account your personality, your behavioral tendencies, your lifestyle. Like it takes into account you as a person, and it's literally customized to you so that all of these things that we went through today, you're able to live all of that out through calorie cycling because it's so it is the most flexible dieting method that we have seen. It's why all of our clients are successful, and it's something that if you're interested in just learning more about it, we have our guide in the description below. Check it out. If you have any questions, just shoot us a message and we're more than happy to help you get started.